Hi, I'm Luke Tanaka, and I'm here with Elmhurst head women's soccer coach, Paul Webster. And, Coach, thanks for joining me today. I want to talk a little bit about your start. 4-0-1, one of the best starts in program history. What's the key to that 4-0-1 start?
The work we did in the spring gave us a momentum and a confidence in our ability to play. Brought in some very good freshmen, created a nice competitive culture in preseason, had a very good preseason. Players worked really hard, well, they trained well, we actually had fun, they enjoyed being out there, and we came in believing that we could be a pretty good soccer team.
You brought a lot of experience back, including Emily Heimerdinger, Anna Garitano, Alyssa Angelo. Were those key to instilling that competitive culture that you were talking about?
Everyone was key to that, but it's nice when you've got some people that have played 50 soccer games at this level so that their experience can be passed on to the players that are still a little inexperienced as far as the number of games they've played.
Right, and some of those, you say inexperienced, but maybe freshmen who are starting to play a lot of games now. In a lot of the cases, they're the senior subs that are coming in. Have the seniors been really great at mentoring and helping those players adjust to CCIW level soccer?
I think so. We just got into the conference play, but I think more importantly is every day when we came out to train, everyone's goal was to help everyone be better. And the seniors that haven't been playing as much have had a great attitude. They've been really genuinely working on helping the underclassmen as far as the nuances of the game at this level. And then when they've gotten on the field, they've contributed as well.
After that 4-0-1 start, a couple of tough losses, including UW La Crosse and St. Catherine, but able to come back from a one-goal deficit against MSOE. What was the key there to turning that around after a couple of losses and then being down in the first half?
Well, La Crosse and St. Catherine's asked questions of us that we hadn't been asked until that point in the year. Their combination of physical ability and technical ability caused some problems, something we hadn't seen. We did manage to keep ourselves in those games and felt we genuinely had chances to win. As far as MSOE was actually coming from 2 goals down on the road against Bethel. Belief can't be taught or convinced. It needs to be done and experienced, and coming back in that game gave them the understanding that we could do it. And we talked at halftime and said this is going to be a defining moment in our season, not the defining moment, but a defining moment. And we came out in the second half and played as if it was, and we're able to get back in the game and get the result that we felt we deserved.
Let's talk a little bit about the Wheaton game now. Obviously on Saturday, 3-1 loss, but I thought a lot of positives came out of that game, especially at the end of the first half. Sydney O'Keefe had a really good look at the net. What was your message at halftime, down 2-0?
When we started actually competing physically and working hard as a group to defend and keep the ball, we made inroads. We had them on the back foot the last 10, 15 minutes of the half, had some really good chances. So we can't sit back and be intimidated by that team, as good as they are, obviously. And we carried that through to the beginning of the second half.
You ended up starting your non-starters in the second half, which is something that we haven't seen from you so far this season. Was that trying to ride the momentum of the end of that first half?
Yes, and the fact that those players, they earned the privilege to play. They came in and helped turn the game around. So we felt that at that time it's best that we go with that group. And they did get a little tired, but they did, again, continue to keep the pressure on them a little bit. Plus, it helped us match up when Wheaton started going to their bench. We actually got starters on that were a little bit more motivated, and that really helped us turn the momentum around in the second half, because there was a period where they had us pinned in, and we survived that.
Right. It felt like Melinda Vickers had a really good job of keeping you guys in the game in that second half. She made 6 saves. All 6 saves came in the second half. And what did you see, and were you impressed by her performance in the game as well?
She competed. The one thing you can count on her doing is she just doesn't lose focus as far as keeping track of the ball. We did, even though we did give up a lot of chances, they were opportunities that we felt confident she'd be able to save. Our group in front of her did a good job at least keeping Wheaton at bay as far as limiting the amount of quality chances they had. And if you're going to have to score from where they had to against Melinda, she's going to make the save more often than not. So, but she did help us stay in the game for sure.
Speaking of that back line, Kennedy Ehrman ended up scoring her first goal of her career. She's been a great addition to the back line, along with Jamie Lassila, both as freshmen. What have you seen from them, and how have you been impressed with them this season?
Well, we were anticipating them coming in and playing right away. They adjusted, took a little time to adjust to the speed and strength of the game. But Kennedy is a solid center back. Jamie's been a pleasant surprise as an outside back. We really didn't have her targeted to play there. But having those two that can come in, as well as a couple other players, it allows us the ability to manage rest with our backs, especially our outside backs, and also help match up with the opponent's strengths. But they've really, really helped us.
Does this kind of play against Wheaton really give you a lot of confidence going forward? You got IIT on Tuesday, and then continuing conference play with Augustana on Saturday?
I do. I hope the team does. When we compete, we can play with anybody on our schedule, and we were in that game, whereas in games in the past we hadn't been when things started going against us. Wheaton does that to people. They will put you under their thumb quickly and keep you there, and we wrestled our way out of it. So if we can just keep focused on doing the work, working together as a group, and really concentrating on finish our chances, I think we're in a much better place this year at this time than we were going into the rest of the conference schedule than we were last year.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Coach, for spending some time, and good luck this week against IIT and Augustana.
Thank you, and you're welcome.